The market burst with life. Women called out their wares, children ran between stores, and the scent of fresh palm oil and roasting maize filled the air. In the midst of it all stood Olubimbe. Olubimbe was a beautiful lady with dark, rich skin. She had a moderate height and build. She was the kind of lady any man could wish for. Her parents loved her so much, and sometimes they wondered what life would be like without her, as she was their only child. Men came to her store not for the clothes, but for a glimpse of her smile. However, Olubimbe had eyes for only one man, Akoni. Akoni was a traveler from Ajin village, a land far beyond the rolling hills. Whenever he arrived, he would find his way to Olubimbe's store. He would buy clothes, though everyone knew it was only an excuse to sit with her and to let their fingers brush as she measured the fabric. Olubimbe also loved Akoni. She would make jokes to see him smile. Love blossomed between them. They started planning to marry each other. One evening, Akoni came to Olubimbe's home. "I have come to ask for your hand in marriage, Bimpe," Akoni said, holding her hands in fear of what her parents might say. "Be a man," Olubimbe encouraged him. He went to ask Olubimbe's parents, but they told him to come back for their answer. Olubimbe's heart clenched. "Why?" she asked, when Akoni had left. "We shall think about it," her mother replied. "Ajin people do not take outsiders. If you leave, you may never return," her father added. "Have you ever heard of someone who went and never returned?" Olubimbe asked anxiously. "No, but for your safety, we don't want you to live so far away from us." "Why can't you choose a man in this village, Olubimbe? You are the only one we have," her mother said with a shaky voice. "I'm sorry, mother. I chose Akoni," Olubimbe declared with a sad tone. After a long conversation, Olubimbe's parents accepted. After that day, days rolled into weeks, and Akoni did not return. Olubimbe longed for his arrival, and her heart ached in silence. But one day, when it was exactly 1 month, Akoni showed up. Akoni had been away for so long because of the rituals he was asked to perform. In Ajin village, they were not allowed to marry strangers. Akoni had gone to the village elders to plead. At last, with her parents' blessings, Olubimbe left village and followed Akoni to Ajin village. When they arrived at Ajin, the people looked at her coldly, especially the women. They whispered as she passed, their voice laced with bitterness. But Abimbola's whisper were the loudest. Abimbola had loved Akoni before Olubimbe's arrival. She had dreamed of having him as a husband. On the day Olubimbe arrived, Abimbola wept in her mother's court, her heart heavy with anger. Abimbola started crying every day. She wept so much that her mother was worried. Her mother made many attempts to make her stop, but all was in vain. One night, Abimbola finally spoke up. She asked her mother to take Akoni back for her, and so a cruel plan was set in motion. Abimbola's mother was one of the village elders who had great influence. She went to the covens of the 3 women from the underworld at the outskirts of the village and asked for their help. They agreed to help her by manipulating the village elders. One afternoon, one of the 3 women of the underworld appeared before the chief priest of Ajin village. The chief priest was startled to see her, and at the same time, filled with fear. The woman's dark eyes bore into his soul as she spoke.
"A stranger has entered this land, and because of her, we thirst for blood. To quench our thirst, she must bring us water from the Orilla River, or else this village will burst in blood."
That evening, the elders of Ajin gathered. The chief priest relayed the terrifying message, declaring that Olubimbe's presence had angered the god. When the news reached Akoni, he fell to his knees before the elders. "I will do any ritual you want me to do," he cried, but no one heard him out. Olubimbe was terrified of the quest, but there was nothing she could do. "If only I could go with you," Akoni lamented, his voice breaking. Tears welled in Olubimbe's eyes as she clutched his hand. "I am carrying your child," she whispered. Akoni's heart shattered. They both wept, holding each other in despair. But when evening came, The herders arrived to escort her to the village edge. She wiped her tears and steeled her heart with resolve. "Akoni, I'll be back soon," she promised. Akoni, now sitting helplessly on the bare ground, could only watch. He cried with all his strength, but Olubimbe did not look back. When Olubimbe crossed the village boundary, she found herself in a world completely different from her dream. She heard distant sounds but saw nothing. The land stretched endlessly before her, vast and barren, without a single blade of grass. Summoning her courage, she took a step forward, as if the land could hear her footsteps. The once empty ground transformed into a dense forest before her very eyes. Trees sprang up from the earth in an instant. Fear gripped her. She had never seen anything like this. Before she could process what had happened, a huge creature loomed over her, its monstrous form towering over her.
"Young lady, what are you seeking in this forbidden land?"
"Pardon me, I was sent on an errand by the herders of the village to collect water from the Orila river." The creature let out a booming laugh.
"To cross, you must offer me something precious. I am the guardian of this forest. I kill anyone who enters without a worthy sacrifice. What do you have to offer?"